ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शांति शांति शांति. In Taittiriya Upanishad, Anandavalli or Brahmanandavalli and 8th Anuvak. The 8th one is the measure of the bliss of Brahma. So Paramananda or Brahmananda. So far we have seen Panchakosha, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha and Atma or Atman. Now one step beyond. So beyond our physical presence and our metaphorical presence or our existence, beyond that which lies is Brahma. And this is the epitome of sadhana. This is the last step in our sadhana. So once we know our Atman, once we have that Sakshatkar, then the next step is Brahma. So Brahma Sakshatkar. The Anuvaka Bhisha asmadvatah pavate Bhisho deti suryah Bhisha asmadagnish chendanscha Mrutyurdhavati panchama iti Saisha anandasya mimasa bhavati Yuva syat sadhu yuva adhyayakah Asishto drudishto balishthah Tasyayam pruthivi sarvavittasya purna syat Sa eko manusha anandah. Meaning, from fear of it does wind blow, from fear of it does the sun rise, from fear of it do Agni, Indra and death. All five run around. The following indeed is the analysis of bliss. If there exists a young man, a pious and good youth, a good student, full of hope, determination and strength, and his is wealth enough to fill the entire earth, let that be one unit of human happiness. So this is kind of explanation of what happens once sadhaka reaches the last stage of samadhi, when the sadhaka has experience of Brahma. So Atma exists, or if we have Atma Sakshatkar, it is kind of getting to know the Dvaita Bhava. Dvaita is being separate from Brahma. So once we have that, the next step is Advaita Bhava, meaning union with Brahma or Paramatma. So here Rishi says that from fear of it does wind blow. So what kind of fear? The fear of separation. Till there is Dvaita Bhava, till Vayu, Agni, Prithvi, all these various elements or objects or even life forms, jivas, as long as there is a Dvaita Bhava and there is a fear of being left behind or fear of not knowing Brahma or fear of not knowing Paramatma, all these actions, whatever we do in this life, whatever any object does as part of its dharma or svabhava, that all exist only because there is Dvaita Bhava, there is a fear of separation. So even though we do not recognize that as a fear, that urge to be united is kind of fear. Because of that fear, Vayu or wind blows. These are some of the examples given here. Sun rises, Agni, Indra, death, all run around, meaning all do their own actions, all do their own swabhava or dharma related activities or actions. So uh, now separation from Brahma, that is needed to sustain this world, because this world is in balance, in equilibrium. Only then this life existed. Only then all these objects or the universe is still in existence. So because of that uh, sustained world or that creation, there is separation. If there is no separation from Brahma, if there is no differentiation from Brahma, then this world wouldn't exist. The world exists, we all exist as a separate entity. Even though we are connected with Brahma, we still exist as distinct or different bodies or different expressions, I would say. That means this world is in separation, this world is in equilibrium. But the ultimate goal is to merge with Brahma so that everything becomes one with Brahma. Everything gets dissolved into Brahma, because that's the ultimate goal or that's the ultimate result of this universe. That something created has to destroyed. So in that brief time, now that scale is different. For small animals it could be minutes, for larger animals it could be years, for bigger entities it could be even millennia. So the time scale varies, but ultimately in this brief period, if we consider the whole creation and destruction and those cycles, it's unlimited, infinite number of years, or we cannot simply digest that scale of the time. Whatever we can experience is only that we can put into words or can feel. So that creation and destruction. So if something is created, that means it has to be destructed. So that is the ultimate goal. Now destruction does not mean we always see that a form changes, energy changes in this world. But the destruction I am talking about is everything merges back to Brahma. So till then all these actions will be happening, and even that includes Agni, Indra and death. So all the highest uh, highest assumption or highest form that we can think of, or something that is omnipresent, something that is everywhere, all those are also subject to this destruction. So the ultimately Rishi says that imagine once a sadhaka has that experience of sakshatkar, Brahma sakshatkar, how does it feel? So here one example is given. Now again this is in the context of the Upanishad time. So if there exists a young man, pious and good, youthful, who is also a good student and full of hope, that means a person in mid 20s, he has the highest strength throughout his life. If you look at, that is the peak of physical strength, that is the peak of any type of hope or any type of so to speak a purpose in life, because young they have so many dreams and they work towards those dreams throughout their life. But many of those dreams that in our youth we imagine or we thought of, ultimately we may or may not fulfill, and many of those dreams just die down. So youth is when we have the maximum number of goals or hopes or whatever we dream of. So imagine that state of our life, full of strength and determination. And one more statement Rishi says, wealth enough to fill the entire earth. That means imagine that in modern worlds he is equivalent to Elon Musk, who has the highest wealth or prosperity. in materialistic term. Let that be 1 unit. So 1 unit of such happiness, such full of life, such full of vigor and strength, such full of imagination, hope, and dreams. Imagine one person like that who is also pious, who is also good student. So that is 1 unit. And now Rushi expands. So Rushi is going to explain what is Brahmananda Sakshatkar. When that is when that happens in sadhak's life, how does it feel? So 1 unit is what described in first verse. Now Rushi says, te ye shatam manusha anandaha स एको मनुष्य गंधर्वाणा मानंदः श्रोत्रियस्य चाका महतस्य ते ये शतं मनुष्य गंधर्वाणा मानंदाः स एको देव गंधर्वाणा मानंदः श्रोत्रियस्य चाका महतस्य ते ये शतं देव गंधर्वाणा मानंदाः स एकः पितॄणां चिरलोक लोकाना मानंदः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामहत्यस्य ते ये शतं पितॄणां चिरलोक लोका नामानन्दः स एक आजान जानां देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामहतस्य. Meaning, first Rushi described the 1 unit, now 100 times the bliss of humans. So 100 times of that which was described before, that is equivalent to 1 unit of bliss of Gandharvas, as is the bliss of one who is well versed in the Vedas and has vanquished all desires. 100 times the bliss of human Gandharvas is 1 unit of bliss of celestial Gandharvas, as is the bliss of one who is well versed in the Vedas and has vanquished all desires. 100 times the bliss of celestial Gandharvas is 1 unit of the bliss of ancestors or Pitrus, whose abode is heaven, as is the bliss of one who is well versed in the Vedas and has vanquished all desires. 100 times the bliss of the ancestors or Pitrus is 1 unit of the bliss of the gods born in heaven, as is the bliss of one who is well versed in the Vedas and has vanquished all desires. So multiply that unit by 100. That means 100 Elon Musk. We don't know about Elon Musk other than his wealth and dreams. But add being pious, add being well versed in Vedas, add being knowledgeable and good student. So mix all these, make it 1 unit, times 100 is the bliss of human Gandharvas. Now Rushi clearly distinguishes, we always talk about Gandharvas in just one entity or term or one species. But here Rushi says there are human Gandharvas and there are celestial Gandharvas, meaning people who do Sangeet sadhana. We have seen there are many big names in our classical, traditional, Bharatiya music, be it Hindustani or Carnatic, Pandit Jasraj, Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, in modern world, Kaushiki, Chakravarti, these are all big names. There are hundreds and thousands probably such people, even in Western world. Even though we may or may not like Western music, but there are people who are completely devoted to music, dance, any type of artistic creation. So those people, even plays, drama, films, movies, even though we may not like, but all these people are human Gandharvas. Gandharva meaning those people who have power of creation expressed in artistic forms. So those are the Gandharvas. Now you,
Sorry to disturb, like painters and
yeah, all those,
artists.
yeah, all artists, yes, they are all Gandharvas because they are blessed with this power of creation that they can make something in materialistic form. For that matter, even there are some engineers who are very well versed in creation. You might have seen some videos that uh, they take some lumber and then create very beautiful things. They take some machines and recreate something out of it. So all these are Gandharvas in human form. So those people, their uh, when they practice, when they do their sadhana, once they create, that joy of creation is thousand, not thousand, 100 times that of Elon Musk type person. That means people who are on that path have greater access to joy or bliss compared to materialistic people. Now, Gandharvas, uh, now we are talking about celestial Gandharvas. So, who are those? So, uh, those Gandharvas, we cannot see them in material form. We cannot detect them with our instruments. But it is said that they live near the sun. They live near the realm of the sun. Which dimension we don't know. Which way we can detect them or contact them we don't know. But in our Shastras there are many stories. And biggest one is Chitragupt. Chitragupt is considered kind of an accountant of Yama, death. But he is a Gandharva, and he lives, or all these Gandharvas live near the sun, our sun. Though we may not know about them, but some people say that Gandharvas in human form, they are blessed by Gandharvas in celestial forms. So they guide them. They may not know. If I, let's say I'm on the path of Sangeet Sadhana, I may not know that somebody is guiding me. But it is true that at metaphysical level, somebody is always there for me who would guide me in that sadhana. So those celestial Gandharvas, they live near the sun, and they use Vayu, air, to communicate, is what is said in many of the texts. And they have special knowledge and actions because they know how to create music, they know how to perform dance, and that kind of resembles ultimate dance, Nataraja, the Tandava Nrutya. That is the ultimate dance or ultimate Nrutya. And these people, they have at some degree knew that, and they are performing. So there is a good story about a musician. I think it's Beethoven. When he was very young, uh, it is said that all these musical notes he could visualize, not just hear. He would see those notes in physical form floating around him, and that's how he created all this music. So people are like that. I mean, they tap different dimension that even we are not aware. uh, I was fortunate to listen to Pandit Jasrajji once. It was a 2 hour program, and he was going through his motions and emotions and all that through his singing. There was a period of some 5 to 10 minutes, somewhere in the middle of his performance, when I literally felt that time has stopped and there is Sri Krishna right there. So his music, his singing created that experience. Um, so all these people, those Gandharvas, they know bliss 100 times more than we do with physical or material gain or whatever we achieve. So imagine if a human Gandharva has that much power, celestial Gandharvas 100 times more. Then Rishi says Pitrus. Pitrus have more bliss than celestial Gandharvas, 100 times more. So Pitrus are 100 times ahead of them. Now Pitrulok is Chandraloka in our Shastras. So they live or they reside in Chandra is what is said. We don't know, right? We don't have any instrument to measure that or to know that. We, even in our dhyana or sadhana, it is not possible at initial stages to know all this. But once we go deeper and deeper, something else opens up. And this is controversial, but those psychedelic drugs, they also create such experience. Though temporary, and the after effects are very detrimental to mind and body, we must not use that, but that gives us an idea that there exists something in mind which is beyond our normal actions or normal imagination. One very good story of Nip Karori Baba. His big name, Ramdas. He actually when he was in Harvard or MIT, he was working on creating chemical substance that would make somebody live in 100% blissful state forever, meaning psychedelic drug. He was after that. He found something, but that was against the norms of Harvard. So they said, go away. So he was in search of somebody who would fund all these actions so he could create the psychedelic drugs. He himself used to take that. He couldn't live without it. So somebody said, go to India. He went to Rishikesh and he was meditating near Ganga. Some sadhu said, go in that direction, meet Nip Karoli Baba and he'll guide you. So he went there, and so he was very much reluctant in all those that Baba said, but he still stayed at the ashram. And after some time, he became close to Baba. So he would sit alone with Baba and ask many questions and converse with him. One day, Baba noticed that he is popping a pill. So Baba asked, what is this? He said, I cannot live without this. It gives me bliss, joy. But if I don't take it, I am in a very painful state. So Baba said, show me. So there was a bottle full of all the pills. Baba took it, all pills. So Ramdas, he became frightened. He thought something bad is going to happen to Baba. He rushed. Nothing happened. Baba was just sitting as is. But he wasn't responding. 2 hours, 3 hours. Now Ramdas got really frightened. So he asked somebody else, check what happened to Baba and all that. All gathered, but nothing happened. Maybe after some time, Baba opened his eyes. Ramdas asked, what happened? I thought you are passing away. Baba said, no, you gave me pills. I was waiting. I was thinking something will happen, but nothing happened. Then Ramdas completely surrendered. He said, Baba, whatever you say, whatever you do, I'll follow. Baba said, first, stop taking these pills, and then he taught him many different things. And Ramadas, he became the most ardent disciple of Neem Karoli Baba.
His ashram is here in
Yes, yes,
Mexico.
yes. We visited that last July.
You did, okay.
Yes, yes. It's kind of a very remote place,
Yes.
and the traveling from Albuquerque or uh, whatever region you go, it's little challenging because of roads and all that. You literally feel that you are in a different world. Even though it is in United States, it feels like it is kind of Mexico. You might get vibe of, oh, this is similar to what we find in India, those villages and all. So it's that kind of place. So we reached there, and Murti is unlike anything we have ever seen in life, right?
I have heard a lot of
Yes.
things about that place.
Yes.
I definitely want to go.
Yes, yes. It's a must visit.
Yes.
Yes.
They are very close to. So in Nainital, there's the ashram. I'm from Bareilly. And
Oh,
it's
you are
very
from Bareilly?
close,
Okay.
but I have never been there.
Okay.
So like I have been all these, how skeptical you
Right,
have been
right.
sometimes. So I was something like that. So maybe
Right.
next time I visit, I'll try. to-
Place, yes. Kenchi Dham, right? Kenchi Dham.
Kenchi Dham,
Right,
yes.
right, right. And many big names, Julia Roberts, Mark
Yes.
Zuckerberg, they are disciples.
My sister was telling me, but I was like, no, I don't care who goes there.
Yeah.
At that time,
Right, right.
I've been hearing a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah. It is said that even though he is not present in physical body, he still guides disciples.
Mhm.
And this place, uh, when we reached there, we did arti and all that. We also did take part in prasad, Mahaprasad, and we served. So majority of people, they are Americans who live nearby, and they are disciples of Baba. So they always come and work in ashram. Even many Indian people, they also come from Albuquerque or nearby, visit that place and do that. But that place, out of nowhere, it's something created. And it is said that when this Hanumanji Murti Pran Pratishtha occurred, the land there was earthquake, and it kind of split. Now this is coincidence, right? But we think of that it has some connection with this Pran Pratishtha. But it's a very beautiful, nice, very natural kind of environment. So I am sure that Kenchi Dham would be next level, right?
Definitely my next visit.
Sure, yes, yes. And Neem Karoli Baba, he was a householder. He had wife and children and all that. So it's not like that you have to leave everything and then only you can get those experiences. And he's said to have strength of Hanuman Dada. He was that. His body also very very strong and right. So we are talking about Pitrus. So Pitrus, they live in Chandraloka, because Pitrus, we have experience. We have seen that sometimes we see reflection of our father, mother, or grandparents in our children. Some actions, some way, their face, some features of body. That means the Pitrus still kind of govern or control or have connection with us, and that through our mind. And mind, Chandra represents mind in physical world. So our Pitrus, they still live in our mind, they still live in our memory, is what we say. But there is a connection, because Pitrus live in Chandraloka, is what our Shastras say. So Pitrus have 100 times more bliss than celestial Gandharvas. So now we are from human to Pitru 100 times, 100 times and 100 times. So 6 zeros, meaning million times than the humans. Pitrus have that much joy if they are in good state, and 100 times that is gods who live in heaven. Now, who lives in heaven? Indra, Yam, Agni, Vayu, Varun, all these devas. It is said that in Rigveda there are many places, even though we say that they are natural elements, Vayu, when we say Vayu, Vayu is air. So where is Vayu Deva? When Vedas talk about Vayu Deva, who is Vayu Deva? Right? We cannot see him. We cannot see his Shakti. We can feel indirectly, but it is said that they have form in different dimension that we cannot see, we cannot experience directly. They still exist, is what is said. So these are all in the realms of solar system. Some people, even our Puranas or even our Itihasa, Ramayana, Mahabharata, they all talk about all this, right? That Vayudeva appeared, Agnideva appeared, this Gandharva appeared, Chitrangada appeared. So all these, how come they appear? Are they just stories? Are they just imaginations? Or are they reality? We don't know. In modern times, we don't know anything about these devas. We cannot say for sure whether those devas exist. They were imagination of rishis, but there is a hint. When we study modern physics, the physics now going towards a concession that when we manifest something, when we create imagination, that becomes reality. Now, how that reality unfolds, it's all at individual level, and that reality can be in physical form or in subtle form. That means all these devas, when we talk about Vedas and those thousands of years of human evolution and history and sadhana and all that, that means they might have created a form through all these practices, and we can tap using certain sadhana. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, if you want to do sadhana for a particular deva or deity, you can do that, but you'll reach only that deity or that deva or devi. You will not get the ultimate solace, or you will not have experience of Brahma until you are on the path of that. So that means indirectly Sri Krishna says they do exist, and we can have that experience if we follow certain sadhana. There are yajnas, havan, that in old times we kind of laugh nowadays that if there is drought, we want rain, then do or perform this kind of havan. How does it affect? We say, oh, those smoke go up and somehow it affects clouds and create clouds and all that. But can it really? That is the question, because if I have a havan kund, maybe 4 or 5 foot by 5 feet maximum, and if I perform that, how much effect it can create? If I perform it for 6-8 hours, very small. But if I perform with proper sadhana, proper techniques, rains do come. So there is a different type of effect which we do not know, but our rishis knew, and they had that access. In 500-600 years back, if the time frame, I'm talking about Akbar, Raja Akbar. He had Navratnas. One of them was Tansen, who was epitome of Sangeet. So he was Gandharva in human form. Akbar, again, this is story how real, but there are indirect proofs. I'll come to that. So Akbar asked, I heard that with Sangeet you can create magic. I want to see that. These are lamps, diyas, now light them. So Tansen said, I can do that, but I do not know how to calm down my body or mind after I do that. I can sing Deepak Rag, but I don't know Megh Malhar Rag. Meaning he might have known that, but he might not have expertise that. So he said, I can do that only, but you will have to take care of me afterwards. So Tansen sang Deepak Rag. Those diyas lit up. So did his body and mind. So Deepak Rag had that effect. Outside the body, inside the body. So his body became very warm, heated up, and his mind agitated and all that. Akbar arranged for some Vaidyas and all that, but no effect. So Tansen said, I must find somebody who have mastered Megh Malhar. Only then I'll find peace. So he started his journey. He reached modern day North Gujarat, a place called Modhera, where Narendra Modi is from. So in those time, Akbar time, there were two sisters, Tana and Riri. Their names, Tana and Riri. They knew Megh Malhar. So somebody said, Tansen, okay, these sisters, they know Megh Malhar. So Tansen went there and asked, prayed to these sisters. And they said, okay, we'll help you. And they sang Megh Malhar. After that, Tansen became peaceful, his mind and body came back to normalcy. Then he went back and Akbar asked, how did you cure yourself? So he said this story. So now Akbar was Akbar. So he wanted Tana Riri in Delhi. He wanted to have that experience also. But Tana Riri, they were bound by their guru. They would not leave the village. So Akbar sent his army and all that. So both sisters fell in a well. They killed themselves because they wouldn't leave that village. And that well is still there today, and it is, the inscription is there, Tana Riri. That means 400-500 years back, these things have happened. So there is a reality in this story, some truth in this story. That means the music has that power that can tap different dimension. So we can assume or accept that the gods, they also live in different dimension or realm, which we do not know how to access. But there are yantras, there are puja methods, there are yajnas, there are many different sadhanas, but it's not for us, right? Because ultimately, if we want the topmost, if you want to be merged with Supreme, these are all not recommended. What are we going to do if we make Agnidev Prasanna to appear against us, before us? What would we do? What are we going to ask? Whatever we ask is still at very lower level. We wouldn't have Atma Sakshatkar, we do not get Brahma Sakshatkar with that. Even Agnidev would vouch for that I can only give you this, not beyond that. So these sadhanas, they are not recommended, and they can be helpful in certain actions or activities, but not beyond that. Say we want to do sadhana, but we want to have Agnidev in front of us so that they carry all what is said, all the mantras and ahuti. He can carry to different dimension. So only that purpose. They are tools, or they are entities that they can help in certain steps, but not beyond that. And that's why, even though this is some truth, this is available, we must not follow that. Because Rishi says further, Teye shatam ajanjanam devanamanandaha स एकः कर्मदेवानां देवानामानन्दः ये कर्मणा देवा न पीयन्ति श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामहतस्य ते ये शतं कर्मदेवानां देवानामानन्दाः स एको देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामहतस्य ते ये शतं देवानामानन्दाः स एक इन्द्रियास्य आनन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामहतस्य. Meaning, 100 times the bliss of the gods born in heaven is 1 unit of the bliss of the karma devas or karma gods, as is the bliss of one who is well versed in the Vedas and has vanquished all desires. 100 times the bliss of karma gods is 1 unit of the bliss of the chief gods, as is the bliss of one who is well versed in the Vedas and has vanquished all desires. 100 times the bliss of the chief gods is 1 unit of the bliss of Indra, the lord of gods, as is the bliss of one who is well versed in the Vedas and has vanquished all desires. Now Rishi is talking about different categories of devas. The devas living in heaven, devas of karma, and then devas who are chief, and then the lord of the devas. So gods born in heaven, Indra cannot be there because Indra is the lord of the gods, as in this category. So Agni, Vayu, all those, they are part of the atmosphere and the distance or the area between sun and the earth, or those type of elements. They are the devas of the Swarga. Then karma devas. Now who are karma devas? For us, the biggest is sun, Aditya, and all the rest of the grahas, Bruhaspati Dev, Shani Dev, Shukra Dev, Budh Dev, Mangal Dev. So these are all karmic devas or karma devas, and they have different type of effects on us. In modern world, astrology or Jyotish, it talks about that. Then the chief gods. Now who are those? Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Because they are, if we look at the categories of devas, from Agni, Vayu, Varun, Prithvi, all these devas, Marudgan, then comes, let's look at solar system. So beyond our atmosphere, then there are sun, Bruhaspati, Shani, Shukra, Budh, Mangal, Rahu, Ketu. On top of them, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Now we are talking about the galaxy. And who is at the center? The lord of the gods is Indra. Now, according to Puranas, Itihasa, Mahabharata, Ramayana, the role of Indra has changed. But this is the Upanishad of Vedas. So in those times, the highest was Indra, above Vishnu, above Rudra, above Brahma. And it is mentioned many a times in Rigveda that because of the power of Indra, sun shines. Because of the power of Indra, Vishnu does all his actions. Because of the power of Indra, Rudra does destruction. So Indra was the chief or above all the gods. So now multiply 100 times, 100 times, 100 times. So now we are at that category, million times million. Right? We are at that level of bliss. तेये शतमिन्द्रस्य आनन्दाः स एको बृहस्पतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाका महतस्य तेये शतं बृहस्पतेरानन्दाः स एकः प्रजापतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाका महतस्य तेये शतं प्रजापतेरानन्दाः स एको ब्रह्मण आनन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाका महतस्य. 100 times the bliss of the Indra is 1 unit of the bliss of Bruhaspati, the Guru of gods, as is the bliss of one who is well versed in the Vedas and has vanquished all desires. 100 times the bliss of Bruhaspati is 1 unit of bliss of Prajapati, the Brahma, Lord of all gross and subtle beings, as is the bliss of one who is well versed in the Vedas and has vanquished all desires. 100 times the bliss of Prajapati is 1 unit of the bliss of Brahma, the Supreme Absolute, as is the bliss of one who is well versed in the Vedas and has vanquished all desires. Beyond Indra is Bruhaspati, Guru of gods. Now this Bruhaspati is not the same as the Karma Deva Bruhaspati. Karma Deva Bruhaspati is the planet, but this Bruhaspati is one who expands everything. So maybe gravitational force or some force that is expressed as gravitation or electromagnetic force, we don't know, but this is that Bruhaspati which expands everything and who knows everything because he is the Guru of the gods. Now multiplied that by 100 and then comes Prajapati. Prajapati is Brahma. Now that Brahma versus the chief god Brahma, there are different degree or variation because there is Trimurti in every solar system, there is Trimurti in every galaxy, and there is Trimurti in the universe. So these are again different categories, and multiplied 100 and that becomes Brahma, the absolute, the supreme. So the calculation is 10, not 10, 1 and 100 zeros. So the human bliss with all the materialistic gain like Elon Musk, and all the knowledge like Einstein, and pious like some guru. So combine all these becomes 1 unit of bliss of human times 10 zeros, 100 to the power of 10, 10 zeros. That is the bliss of Brahma. So can we handle that? Not possible. Even if we get 100 million tomorrow, we'll go out of mind, right? If somebody gives us $100 million tomorrow, what will happen to us? We'll go crazy. 100 to the power of 10, meaning 10 zeros. That much joy, that much bliss, can we handle? And that's why we have to follow Ashtanga Yoga so that our body, our mind can be prepared. We can be ready if that experience has to come to us. That's the only goal, because we will not be able to handle it. And it is rightly said that if we get Atma Sakshatkar, I am not talking about Brahma Sakshatkar, just Atma Sakshatkar. If we are not of the category of Ishvara, we will be leaving this body in 21 days. That's the rule. If we get Brahma Sakshatkar, right away. But Atma Sakshatkar, we have 21 days still in that body. If we are not of the category of Ishvara, meaning if we haven't followed Ashtanga Yoga 100% truthfully in our life, we are not ready to handle that much bliss, that much joy, or that Sakshatkar. Yes.
I did not really understand the difference between Prajapati and Brahma.
Now, Prajapati, right? There are different categories of Prajapati. Uh, when we talk about solar system, who created this solar system? The center is sun. So for us, Vishnu, Rudra or Brahma or Prajapati is sun, because source of life on earth is sun. But in the context of galaxy, even sun is depending on something else beyond the solar system. When the galaxy might have formed, that that force that created that galaxy or those stars, that is even beyond a next category. So that's greater Brahma or greater Prajapati. But who created galaxy? When the universe was formed, even that creator, that Prajapati is even beyond our galactic Prajapati. So these are different categories. Sure. So we can end here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.